Yo, what's goody? My name is Yao. This Chezza,
GMTM, just trying to find peace.
and Slim, Mr. Steven, will be here very soon. And this is the Casual Fan Podcast, where we talk about Marvel shit. Anything new on that front?
Apparently, the rumor is they're trying to recast um, for Daredevil to be in. They're trying to recast the Daredevil character because um,
Netflix one.
the Netflix contract, there's still some time lapse, I guess. But
So
they
they
want to
can't grab
recast.
him.
Apparently, they want to put Daredevil in the Spider-Man 3
Right.
and have Murdoch as his lawyer.
Okay. Interesting.
So, but rumor, not
Nothing in concrete.
not
Nothing
not
in stone.
concrete. But what is concrete is they cast Kate Bishop for Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Oh yeah, the Hawkeye series. So that should be
So that
taping
makes
very
it,
soon, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Dope. Also, outside of that, I don't think there was anything else. There's the Snyder Cut supposed to be coming out very soon. 4 hours long. He will not use any footage that who was after him? Zack Snyder. I forget who was it. Sam Raimi maybe. But
I can't
whoever
remember.
took over, no, Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon took
Oh
over.
yes, Joss Whedon.
He will not use any of his footage. Be straight up just what he did. So 4 hours of it's gonna be crazy on HBO. They're still trying to figure out if they're gonna show it as a movie itself or make
As
it
a
a
series.
full out series, a 4-part series, I guess. But it's just how you break it down, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Outside of that, we talk wrestling, and every Wednesday around 9:30 o'clock, catch us
9:30
on
o'clock.
9:30 o'clock. Catch us on the Shot Club Podcast IG, where we be live. Mr. Steven Slim.
Can you hear me?
Oh, go on.
You hear me?
So
A
someone's
bit.
taking advantage of that phase 2 barber life.
You see it.
Look at
But
him. Look at that young boy over there.
who,
know,
me?
right?
I still got the grays, though. The grays make me older.
I'm sorry if I'm lagging. I'm at my new spot. My internet's not here right now. I gotta find a good spot down here where I don't try to look out. So
I feel like this is like one of those like TV interviews where they use a picture.
Yeah.
And you
right
see
now.
the interviewer talking, and then just the picture himself, and you hear his voice. Because his picture hasn't moved. At least
Yeah.
he's smiling. At least he's smiling. But yes.
Hold on. How do you feel about the results last week?
I didn't know what happened last week. Like, I was so dumbfounded by the wrestling itself. I was like, I didn't even count.
I heard half of that. Kind of remind me of what's his name? Stephen Hawking. What? It's a bad joke? It's not even a joke. It's just the way it sounds. I'm just saying. But have you guys taken in any wrestling this week? SmackDown or Impact or AEW? When I say this week, I mean from like last week to this week. Last Wednesday to this Wednesday.
Not really.
Okay.
Honestly, it's both promotions of just being kind of like getting on my nerves, really.
I'm gonna be a Joe Budden. Please expound on that.
I've finally got to the point where the spots for spots sake in AEW is just kind of completely just turned me off of it. And WWE, it's kind of like storylines, man. Like, what are we doing?
It's it's kind of weird. Like, if you use the freedoms of AEW, but the managerial restrictions So you're still able to say what you want to say or whatever. But the manager is gonna, or the owner is gonna tell you exactly what the hell your direction is and where you're going. That would be the perfect promotion. If there was a promotion that could take both of those and just put them both together, that's it. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I'm not really impressed by either right now.
What about Impact? Has it gained your interest at all?
A little bit. I definitely want to check it out, but I haven't actively been like.
No clips, no anything.
Not really. No.
You didn't look to see any of the new wrestlers or the special guests or whatever happened from Slammiversary till now.
I do want to check it out. I do want to see Anderson and Gallows and what they're doing. So
I took in the first Tuesday, so the first episode after the big Slammiversary. It was interesting. What I don't like is the way it looks. It kind of just looks like a basement, and the ring looks kind of small.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I think it's the angle that they shoot it from, but it seems
regulation.
Yeah, it just looks small. It looks like a small ring, like something that you just pulled out from the high school down the street or something, the boxing club down the street or something, you know? Outside of that, though, they have the lighting and all that stuff. They have to get better sets.
Is that something Howard Stern would call backyard wrestling?
Now that they don't have Joey Ryan, no. But when they were doing dick flips on TV, it was very backyard. Very, very backyard wrestling.
Cornette's right more than he's wrong.
Watching.
It's true. Slim, you're still in and out. Now the frozen face they gave you now. Whew.
You got the suspicious look.
I was part of it.
Say that again.
No. Okay, there we go.
I think you're getting closer. I feel like this is a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
No, we should be saying warm and cold. Warmer.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear y'all.
Good.
Well, that's good. At least you can hear us. Like, it goes back and forth. I'm trying to figure out if it's... Are you on the Wi-Fi?
No, I'm on my data. I'm on my phone. I don't get good reception down that street.
Oh, okay. In the house itself.
Yeah.
You need a jack Wi-Fi if there's any.
Yeah. So, I'm like, right. Nah, I've been trying to jack Wi-Fi. Everybody got everything skilled.
Knock his fly out.
I only close enough to McDonald's or Starbucks. I got the jack there.
He sounds like R2D2 going through maturity. R2D2 doesn't have that. Like, it's just very, very scratchy, like very like robotic and scratchy.
He's trying to find anything other than Stephen Hawking right now.
I started at the top. I'm trying to bring it down now.
Started from the top, now you're here?
I'm here.
Did you guys see the send-off on YouTube that WWE did for Kairi Sane?
No, I didn't watch that. Did you watch the actual episode to see how it happened and how Asuka lost her belt to Sasha Banks?
Yeah, I did.
It's kind of stupid how she lost it.
It was a good match, though.
Yeah, come on.
It's a good match.
Expected. Like, right now, WWE has a good little... Without Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda, they still have a pretty good roster at the moment. They have like a lot they can build off of.
They started out with Nia Jax and
Shayna going against each other.
Yeah, and that looked like a shoot.
Yeah, the way they did it. But what was kind of crazy is that they made with Nia Jax getting so after the whole fight that happened on Monday Night Raw or whatever, she got fined
Yeah.
for like inappropriate contact or whatever. That's crazy because they make Nia Jax look like she's like the badass where she's just fucking up everybody, and then Shayna, she got nothing.
Yeah.
It should have been both sides. Like they're both crazy. They're both this. They're both. You know what I mean? But I guess Vince is just trying to put his feet back in. Like, let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
In the water. What can I do with Shayna, and where can I put her? There's also another one where it was rumored that Vince. Well, the rumor's going back and forth. Aleister Black looks like he's been written off TV.
Yeah, they're supposedly doing a reset or something.
Yeah, so the rumor was the whole thing was that Vince didn't like him at all, and that he was like a Paul Heyman project. So they weren't like Vince was just like fuck it, like you know what I mean. So they pretty much wrote him off with this last thing with the eye.
Have they
Dominic
deaded
Myers.
every Heyman project so far, or is there still
Here and there? But so now the talks is Vince does like him. He has no problem with him. Like he likes his size, he likes his skill, agility, he likes everything about him.
doesn't like
He
the character?
just feels that the character itself has a ceiling.
Which is weird because it's like, how are you going to talk about Aleister Black's character as a ceiling, and then y'all presented FTR what you did on their way out? Like you weren't going to go anywhere with FTR with that gimmick.
No, maybe they would have went to that ceiling.
There's a bunch of them that have a ceiling. Like I'm not buying that.
But it's somebody he likes. So at the same time, it's like FTR. We knew they were kind of here and there with FTR. So I don't think he cared about their ceiling. But they say Aleister Black, he likes them. He likes him. So what he wants to build, what they said is like he likes the guy, like whatever his name is, the person, like who he is, he loves him.
Yeah.
But the character Aleister Black, he's not a fan of. So he's trying to figure out a way to, like you said, rebuild him, whatever the word is, repackage him, and then bring him back out. But it's a good look because that means he's high on both of them. Aleister, well, when I say both of them, I'm talking about like the married couple, Aleister and Zelina. Zelina
Gomez.
But yeah, so that's a good look because Aleister Black is like one of his better ones. Hopefully he does something like that makes sense with him. I think he's trying to stay clear from like that whole Undertaker look for everybody.
I guess so.
That you have Bray Wyatt, like you have to make that type of dark.
Oh, it's too many. Braun Strowman when he hangs out with Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Aleister Black. It's just anytime somebody has on what's it called, NXT, what's that guy? Dexter Lumis, something like that. He's another one of those like no selling everything. You know, the Undertaker. Just no selling, getting punched in his face, and then popping up when he's getting pinned and all that shit. It's all that stuff, man. So Dexter Lumis, that's his name. Dexter Lumis. Oh, yeah. Okay. So bit by bit, it looks like. But to go back on that whole, you were just not happy with any of them.
Yeah.
Crazy. I've actually had like random conversations in different like Facebook groups. And they didn't believe me, but I was like, at this point, it's crazy how people are pushing WWE to fail, right? But if WWE fails, that's it for the wrestling industry, you know. That's it, because I say that because they're the only ones who truly have like a real global presence that when you look at a wrestler, you just assume WWE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like WWE is always the first name.
They're the big leagues.
Exactly. So if they fail,
yeah,
everybody else is done. Like, I'm not going to say they're all going to shut down the same day. I'm just saying the reach that they used to have, they're not going to have anymore. Because, like, business-wise, if I'm a business and I look and I saw the biggest wrestling company go down, I don't think I'm going to get any more money with the rest of these guys. Because if the biggest company can't make money, what money are you guys going to make? So, I don't know. Yeah. I've been on that, but what do you think? Like, do you think without WWE, will the wrestling industry actually survive?
Um,
Go back to territories.
yeah, but you'll have like maybe you'll have like a sneak wrestling like something like New Japan coming in. So New Japan does not need WWE to start doing about it. You know what I'm saying? New Japan, luchador wrestling. So if you think about what we see, but the stuff that we don't see that people are really big on that don't even watch WWE, you know what I'm saying? They'll still have that family. So they'll still be big. New Japan can come in and say, okay, well, WWE, you know, we can give you some TV rights in America. We've been dying. Our style of wrestling, you know, like these are matches in New Japan are getting 6 stars and 5 star matches when the last good WWE match was Seth Rollins or maybe no, what is it? Aleister Black and AJ Styles. I thought like one that's like really really match like wow. Like, you're getting those matches in New Japan almost every pay-per-view, every on the pay-per-view.
That's true. The only thing that I'd say WWE really runs at the moment is the women's division. Right now, the women's division is pretty much saving them between NXT and the actual Raw and SmackDown rosters. Whenever the women come on, they're there to watch. They're there to see them wrestle. They're there to see what's going on in their stories.
And they don't have their 2 top stars either.
Exactly. Back to what we were saying about the women's. I was like, they're pretty good without their 2 stars. They're pretty stacked on both rosters, same way. And I think, you know what's big about the women that actually I feel comes across better than what the men's do is because, you know, like the whole kayfabe thing of it has to be believable watching them fight. So Vince always wants big guys. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to worry about that with women.
Yeah.
They just really have to be skillful, like really skillful. So it's easier to present the women as is in actual wrestling matches. So you don't have to go crazy and do this, give them this extreme rule or whatever the hell. Like they just go in, they wrestle like regular, and they just follow the regular type of storylines. And because they're such a new thing, everybody's into the women's wrestling, kind of like how they were into the men's wrestling before.
Yeah.
So it's really dope. Like if there were a whole rumor about Evolution 2 being a thing,
Yeah.
that would be big. And if they bring what's her name in as well, which is kind of here and there.
She wants 150.
No.
You know what they made in
Tessa.
in Evolution?
Who did she want 150 from?
She wanted 150 from Impact. So what happened was Impact needed their belt back, but she was in Mexico. So the rumor was that she said, "You want your belt back? You're gonna give me 150,000." So they turned they turned around and got one from like eBay that was made in Pakistan. Yeah, they didn't have their own. They ordered a replica off of eBay and got it back. Made in Pakistan. Like, but at the same time, like it looks exactly like their belt and everything, but they had to go get a replica.
How do you not have a backup belt?
Bruh. I don't know.
Stand it.
I was running.
Listen, when Alundra Blaze, I was there, and I'm pretty sure Steven was watching it too. When Alundra Blaze took that belt and dropped it in the trash can on TV, every promotion should have been, we need backups. We need backups. Few of them.
Listen.
Keep them with the booker. Keep them with it.
Just 2 or 3. 2 or 3. But I would have like a closet full. They'd be like, "Oh, another belt? Just go in the
Nah, I wouldn't do a closet full because then it's just like money. The circulation is, you know.
I wouldn't let people know, but at the same time, like I will be prepared. You know,
you could be holding on to the world's least favorite secret right there.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
But no, they should have a few backups because it's not the first time that a wrestler has held the promotion hostage with the belt.
It's true.
Like, you don't even have to go all the way back to Alundra Blaze. I'm just saying that because I remember watching it.
And usually, I think with WWE, they have 2 belts. Like, usually they have 2 different belts. The one for TV and one for house shows. The one for TV shines better under the lights, the diamonds and all that stuff. They look way much better. I guess it's like a little more duller, so it just doesn't shine bright, like kind of like my shirt. It's supposed to be yellow, but it looks white. So it doesn't like shine like that. And then they have like the shiny one for the house shows.
Okay.
Yeah. But still. Yeah, man, she stuck him up.
So she still got it?
No. She sent it back now. And then she put out a tweet or something saying, I didn't stick them up. Don't believe the rumors. I didn't do that. I found with Chezza, that's every time there's something about her, she's always saying, don't believe the rumors. Like, why don't you just not do it in the first place? Just so much easier. Just don't do it. Like,
hey, you got to get heat. You got to get heat any way you can. And that would lead us into another incident that happened.
Are we talking about the Lucha announcer? So, if nobody heard already, 2 videos popped up about the Lucha announcer of AEW, Excalibur.
Yep.
One video, him saying nigga with the A.
The A, and then you get the...
And then nig with the hard R. Like that R that's like just, it's sharp. Like, it's like a RZA R.
Now, was it confirmed that he said it both times? Because someone said in one of them that Kevin Owens was...
They're trying to say it's Kevin Owens, but from what I know, or from what I've been reading and seeing and all that, it's Excalibur. It's Excalibur. Just Kevin Owens was there. With the A, was supposed to be jokey, like almost like a Vince McMahon type thing. The ER, that was supposed to get him heat. It was supposed to be like, oh, I'm what's it called? That's what it is, bro. That's what it is.
I want to be mad, but it's like New Jack was doing this stuff. It's like we accepted a lot. It's like, where do you draw the line at? Like, I don't know this guy Excalibur. I don't really care. I was more concerned that someone I liked, Kevin Owens, was a part of it because he's a Black Lives Matter guy. So,
yeah, but same time, he's a French Canadian. I just say that as a Canadian that knows French.
yeah.
So there's always that other side. French Canadians, technically French Canadians are the Americans from the south of Canada.
Okay.
They're the Southerners. Like, they're the Hicks. Well, like, anyways, this is a whole other thing. It has nothing to do with wrestling. But yeah. So how do you feel knowing that Excalibur? Like, do you take it just as, like, how you were saying, Trace, it's hard to do you distinguish it as it's only a promo, it's only wrestling? Or, because it's not like it's a Hulk Hogan situation where Hulk Hogan was doing it outside of wrestling.
Yeah.
This was inside of wrestling, and as you said, New Jack was very big on doing that. Like, racism was his card.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that he had license or whatever to do it, and you know, this guy doesn't. It's just we see heels that'll do anything for heat. So,
does their status make a difference? Because Excalibur did this, but technically,
Look at those guys.
if you look at Excalibur now, technically, it didn't help his situation, right? It didn't help him. It didn't create him into a wrestler. It didn't give him a career. It didn't do anything. New Jack gave him a full-out career.
To where he's doing Vlad interviews today.
No, exactly. So it's like, does it matter on the level they are? Like, even look, Vince McMahon, he was on a level. Regardless, he's the owner of WWE, but he went off his way and he said it.
Yeah.
And he was but he's on a level though, so it didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
So could it be the level of the person as well? Because Excalibur really isn't a good. I don't know, but from what I see, they rather him as an announcer than a wrestler. So
I would rather if you're gonna bring race into it to try to bring to build heat, you could do that. There's ways of doing it and still getting heat, but like,
would you say the Triple H way of bringing the race in it without the heat?
I would say the best example to me as far as like doing that type of angle would be Nation DX Heart Foundation 97 when they did the whole
The blackface and everything.
The blackface was too far.
Okay.
When they trashed the locker room and had stuff like that's something you could relate to. You could see that happening, but like when you have to do like blackface and you have to like say the N word, it's just like it's not even compelling. Like it's the shock of it is gone because it's like you're not even trying. Like
yeah, it's like it's a cheap heat, right?
Yeah,
like it's saying "fuck you" to what city is this? Fuck you, Toronto! Boo! Like cheap pop, cheap heat. Like
yeah. There's a better way of doing it.
What about Booker T? Gonna get you, nigga. Sherry Martel rubbed his back. It's okay, baby.
She knew it.
She said, she's like, it's okay, baby.
I love how she reacted all motherly real quick.
Real quick.
Stevie Ray takes over the promo and he's just like, ah.
Okay. With everything with Excalibur, so now with AEW, what do you think they should do? Because from what we know, history-wise, I was having this conversation with Ro. History-wise, Jericho, they let go. I assumed, I'm talking to Ro, that's kind of like the curtain call. Jericho is Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's going to happen to him.
You can't do anything with him, but you could do something to one of his.
Closest beside him was Sammy, who had an issue with sexism.
Yeah.
Which he got suspended for and lost his money for. So with Excalibur,
he's back. What, 2 weeks
he's back now. Yeah. They just try to make sure that, people
something.
Exactly. So now that it's Excalibur. Okay, actually, before Excalibur, when it comes to racism, they allowed Jericho to pass because it was just all lives matter. He didn't use no N-words or whatever, blase.
Yeah.
But they did say that the Hogans are not invited due to their racism. So now with Excalibur, what do they do?
As far as them and Hogan, come on. Hogan won't go into your event. Again, that's like me. That's like me boycotting Ciroc.
I heard actually.
Not Ciroc. Sorry. Cristal.
Yeah.
It's like me boycotting.
It's like he wasn't gonna get it anyway. I heard that a lot of Slim, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's better. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Again, as you were saying earlier, what Hogan did wasn't a promo, right? And what his wife said wasn't a promo. These can be passed off as promos, you know what I'm saying? It could get cheap heat in these towns when someone's talking to you and they're calling you whatever name and they're calling back as like heel. You're heel all the way. Look at my boy at AEW, how he treats little kids for an autograph. Like
MJF.
He was a heel all the way. So if you're playing the heel, right, and you're doing, especially that wasn't big market wrestling at that time, right? So you're playing the heel to play that heel. You're gonna get spit on. You're gonna get cursed out. You're gonna retaliate and stuff like that. So it was a promo to me. in the act of him while he was in his wrestling, to me it was a promo. Now Hogan went on a rant. He went on a rant about 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 niggas and all that type of stuff, right? So it was just like, okay, Hogan, bro, yeah. Right. And the thing with Hogan was everybody loved Hogan. Like he's like, nah, Hogan. Like,
It's Hulk Hogan.
nah.
Hulk Hogan. Eat your vitamins. Like, I was supposed to be the guy.
By that time, to me, like, there's no illusions about Hogan.
Nah.
There
Like,
wasn't, but you didn't believe that.
I could.
I could, but to hear it is different. You know what I mean? Like, I heard stories of, I forget if it was like Booker T saying it. No, it wasn't Booker T. Shit. Can't remember who. But it was one of the black wrestlers. And came in saying like, yo, what up, my nigga? Like, Hogan. And the guy kind of looked at him. He said, what? And Hogan's like, I can say that. I'm blacker than you. Da-da-da-da. And that was like their thing because he was Hulk Hogan, the way his swagger was, you know, black culture like usual. But it's like, that was his whole vibe was like, I'm blacker than you. I can't be racist. All the people I hang around in Florida are black. You know what I mean? And that was his whole thing coming up. So a lot of the people, when they heard that, some were like, not surprised. And some were like, fuck. Like, he told that line.
He's always throwing the political line. So that's why that didn't surprise me.
That shit is crazy still. So Excalibur, Ro just hit me up, is not on AEW tonight. They did not put him on. So obviously they didn't want that heat. But do you feel, should he be fired, or should it just be a suspension, or should it just be a fine? Or should it be nothing at all because it has nothing to do with AEW?
And what year was it?
2010, I believe.
Oh.
I think mine said yesterday. It was a long time ago. It's like 2010. Remember, Sammy's was from like 2016.
Yeah.
So his was 4 years away. So I guess that's a little different, but his is a good decade ago.
Well, I'll put it like this. What's his name who directed James Gunn, who directed Guardians? When they dug up his tweets, those were like a good 8 years out?
Right.
And they still were like, nah, you gotta go. This is Disney. This is a big ass company. This is what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, for the size of the company, the role you play in, and their stance on stuff like that.
Right.
So,
and especially AEW's whole thing was inclusivity, right?
Yeah.
Everybody should feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do they have enough black wrestlers to even care?
I think the question is, do they have a sizable black audience that cares?
Even in the back, are there any black wrestlers?
Nah.
That's a whole other issue, but I'm not going to get into that right now because AEW has even though they're about inclusivity, they have an inclusivity problem. None of their top stars are anything but white across the board. Unless they're Japanese, but that has to do with Kenny Omega and his fetish.
What about what we call Cody? You bring Cody to the cookout? Cody invited to the cookout?
Yeah, Cody's to the cookout.
People assume Cody's invited to the cookout, but if this is Cody, like, it's all about this. Cody did not say anything when Jericho came out and said what he said. And of all people, you'd think he would have been like, you know what? Yeah, we don't co-sign that. But nobody came out. Nobody said anything like, yo, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, of all people, you would hope Cody would be the one, even because there's no other main black people. So you assume Cody is like the closest one because of his wife.
Yeah.
All right.
And because of his dad.
All right. That was that. What if Cody hit him up on a one-way, seeing how close they are, putting him on blast?
If that's the case, then why'd they blast Sammy? Why'd they blast Sammy then? Then why'd they blast Sammy if that's the way they work? If they do everything in the background, why'd they put Sammy on blast?
Because that was vexing.
That was a bit different, though.
A bit different, though.
Yo, Sammy was wilding.
On the radio, yes.
He was,
but everything everybody did was public. Everything everybody did was public.
Like Jericho's, he could take a stance, and you could be like, all right, I don't agree with it. I wish that wasn't the case, but it wasn't blatant. Like Sammy Guevara was just like, that was you. It wasn't even going back to the one. It wasn't even clever what he was trying to do.
Yeah,
it was just gross. So
still, I find it weird. I'm like, how do you? I
just think there's levels to it. I just think there's levels to it.
So back to Excalibur. What happens to him?
He gotta go.
You think fired?
You gotta go.
Okay. What about you, Slim? Fired, suspension, fine, nothing. Probably 10 years old. So
I've grown since then, never really did. He considers promo. I'm not talking, a lot he can say to get out of it. Now, if this was again like 2016, now I'm like, bro, nah, bro. Nah, bro.
As we're talking about Brandy, she's on the they got the commercial with the Walmart for the action figures. AEW.
Hope Excalibur got his figure quick. Hope he got his figure done. Me, myself, I don't even know. Honestly. Should he be fired? Like, in the end, if they fire him, it's not really a loss. Because if you look at their announce table, they have Tony Schiavone. They have Jim Ross. And if you want to just do those two, they can ride it out. And they have Taz whenever he's not doing Prime Cage.
Yeah, Jericho goes to commentate.
Jericho too. So it's like,
but you want to groom the future though. Schiavone was
everybody's 90s. Everybody was 90s.
I know, but Schiavone was a young buck when WCW was like early 90s. Like you had.
Yo, they killed that guy's career, yo. They killed his career. When they made him make that announcement, his career was over after that.
Yeah.
That's their own fault, though.
Yeah.
That's their own fault.
Yeah, and the worst thing about it is, like, he was the face of it. He was the front man for it. Like, he's the one who's on the mic getting saucy. And this is 98, 99. And the war is still raging. It's changing course, but it's still raging. Like right there, like that's a tipping point, and he ends up being the sacrificial lamb.
Pretty much.
I hate to be in that position. I'd hate to be that. I'd hate to be the one that, you got to make that call. But I will say this. It might have been a little bit of a comeuppance from when Bobby Heenan was trying to properly eulogize Gorilla Monsoon, and he just kind of like he cut that shit so short. Schiavone was kind of he was pressing some buttons, so you might have gotten his comeuppance there.
Honestly, all this WCW talk, I know nothing about. I was WWE, live and die.
When Gorilla Monsoon passed,
I just know
it must have been that day or something, because like Heenan was like, he looked like he was about to break down, and he just wanted to say rest in peace to my good friend, whatever. And Tony Giovanni was like, yeah, okay, cool, we're back on.
Was it because he was a WWE guy?
Yeah. He was kind of just like, yeah, I understand. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And now back to,
Yeah, like showing no No selling it. He no sold them.
Yeah.
Shit. All right. Is there anything else you want to hit before we go? We're running on our last minute right now.
Shotclubpodcast.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified and never know when we're going live.
Yes, there's that. And make sure you tune in every week. Catch us every night. Not every night. Wednesday night. 9:30 live. 9:30 live on the Shot Club Podcast IG. And you can find me at This Chezza.
At Trace Motivate.
I am Mr. Robotic.
Mr. Roboto.
On Instagram.
Trace, what's his Instagram name again?
And my intro will be up.
That's the picture to end with.
I should have just pressed end. All right, though. All right, so this is another episode of the Shot Club Podcast. Catch us, like I said, every Wednesday, 9:30. And catch this on wrestlingwithwrestling.com.
And follow us on IG, Casual Fan Podcast.
Bam. Best up.